Order at 10:02. All those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this is a time where we will take a public comment of 3 minutes per person. If you're repeating yourself, you could say, well, I totally agree with the person before and I have one new item. So at this point, if anybody would like to approach the podium so that they can hear you on CNET, please state your name and the municipality in which you reside.
Good morning. My name is Andrea Royer, and I reside in Marion Township. I rise today with deep concern about the proposal to rezone more than 270 acres of farmland, residential home, and Amish homesteads to highway commercial with the I-80 interchange. First, our local state police are already stretched thin. They can't manage the current traffic conditions on Jacksonville Road, let alone a surge that would follow from a large travel plaza truck stop. These facilities don't just add cars and trucks, they bring elevated risk of crime, including drug trafficking, human trafficking, and violent incidents. And that's not just speculation. It's a pattern documented across Pennsylvania and our nation. Adding this burden to a rural community without adequate law enforcement resources is reckless and dangerous. Second, our public meetings in Marion Township have not been conducted in a way that encourages open public dialogue. Instead, residents have been faced with dismissive responses, intimidation when raising legitimate concerns, and community voices should not be silenced when such sweeping land use changes are being forced upon us. Third, this rezoning proposal is in direct conflict with the Nittany Valley Regional Comprehensive Plan. That plan, adopted by Marion Township, Center County, and our neighboring municipalities, clearly identifies these parcels as agricultural preservation, agricultural development, and conservation. The stated purpose of these districts is to protect farmland, open spaces, and the rural characteristics of our community. Expanding highway commercial into this area undermines years of planning and violates the trust of the residents who believed our land use map meant something. This isn't just a zoning change, it's a decision that's going to permanently alter the character, safety, and well-being of Marion Township and its residents. I would respectfully urge our commissioners to clarify publicly that this rezoning is not being pushed or required by the county, as our supervisors have claimed. I ask you to stand with our residents and oppose the change that contradicts the plan that was adopted, and to help us ensure that our community's concerns are heard without intimidation and with transparency. Our farmland, our homes, our families deserve protection, not commercialization at the expense of safety and community values. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Andrea. I believe you contacted us before in a very organized and factual way. We always appreciate that. Anyone else like to speak? Sure, come on up.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you this
You're
morning.
welcome.
My name is Lisa Ford. I'm a 29-year resident of Marion Township, and I have great concerns about the proposed rezoning in the I-80 local interchange area. The proposal would take 17 parcels, a total of 278 acres that are currently zoned Ag 1, Ag 2, and Conservation, and flip them to highway commercial. That's a major deviation. This is a major departure from what's in place now, and it would sit directly next to farmland, conservation, and homes that are supposed to remain protected. Some of the land is even part of the agricultural security area, and the parcel that has prompted this rezoning is actually in clean and green. This land is currently being farmed, including crops and livestock, yet now it is being pushed for highway commercial development. The impacts are serious. Marion Township has no public water, no public sewer. Every resident relies on a private well. Every resident has on-site septic. This is what we use for our household daily needs and our clean drinking water. The soils in this area, Morrison soils, are poor for building and for septics for commercial use. Paving over this land for intrusive commercial use risks contaminating wells, straining septics, and putting family drinking water at risk. Under the current zoning ordinance, highway commercials allowed 70% of impervious surfaces. That's a lot of rooftops and parking lots. That's going to lead to increased drainage and runoff. One of my Amish neighbors shared with me that since the interchange has been built, he is experiencing crop erosion because of this runoff. Other neighbors have shared with me that their wells and their water have now become cloudy. Add more blacktop on this sloped land, and the flooding and water quality problems will only multiply. Current zoning regulations have no mandate requiring an additional buffer zone between commercial development and the farmland and residential that will be adjacent to it. This will lead to conflicts of use. Both the 2004 and the 2019 Nittany Valley Comprehensive Plan designated this area for agriculture and conservation, not highway commercial. They recognized the land's limitations and the value of protecting it. I know zoning decisions are not directly in your hands, but your leadership is critical right now. We are asking you to join the conversation to make sure proper procedures are followed. This is including some kind of real study, as indicated was the plan in the Nittany Valley document. The consequences are clear. Farmland protections would be lost, runoff would worsen, and residents would be put at risk. All of this for the benefit of a handful at the expense of Marion Township residents. This isn't just a zoning change. This is about the health, safety, and welfare of Marion Township residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa and Andre. Anyone else would like to speak? On any other topic as well? No? All right. We very much appreciate you coming. And I believe John Fronick, our county administrator, has been talking with county planning, and he has an update for you.
Sure. So thank you for bringing your concerns to the commissioners. What we can affirm this morning is that the county does not dictate or mandate any type of zoning upon any municipality within Center County. Those responsibilities lie with your local elected officials. So that would be, I think, the official statement from Center County. Now, our planning folks have worked with municipalities on planning matters and have provided objective observations of various iterations of zoning within all of our municipalities, but in no way do we set or dictate what type of zoning would be adopted by any municipality.
Yeah, there's 35 municipalities in Center County, and I think there's nearly 35 different ways that county planning serves those municipalities. But as John says, the county doesn't dictate. We provide services, we advise, we help them with research, especially in the smaller townships where their entire staff might be a secretary and a roadmaster. We help them check off a lot of the state requirements so that they can meet the rules and regulations. I don't know if any of the other commissioners would like to add anything.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. And I know that, like, when you feel like you're hitting a dead end in one place, that you want to be able to go to another level to get some response and some relief. I'm not sure, what our legal ability is, if any whatsoever, to influence zoning decisions made at the municipal level. So, I apologize for not being able to be more helpful at this point, but it certainly is a municipal decision that local municipal elected officials would be making. But I certainly hear your concerns, and particularly as you're talking about the concern about well water, those are very close to home for residents, I know.
Thank you, Commissioner Concepcion. Commissioner Dershowitz.
I think actually, thank you very much, because I don't think perhaps even the residents of Marion appreciate what's going on down there. I would like to have some conversation with our planning folks to find a path forward here that obviously there's gonna be some development down there. I think that's probably gonna be a logical conclusion from having a change, but at the same time, how do you do that and make it so it's palatable to the residents? And I think that's gonna be the challenge. And I think that's where the conversation needs to go from here. And, stay tuned, because I think we probably need to have a lot more conversation. And I think we're all with you in understanding that this is a big impact to the community down there. And we want to make sure that it's a fair one. So let's see what we can do to mitigate this as best we can for you. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks again so much for coming. So to summarize, the commissioners and county government does not dictate local zoning anywhere in Center County. We provide an advisory role. We understand your concerns. We appreciate them. And hopefully you can work with your elected supervisors to come to some sort of agreeable compromise on this. But no, the county is not forcing this issue. The county has no direct role in this situation. Any questions from the press on this
I
one?
guess.
Oh, yeah,
I
Steve.
do have, was it during one of the zoning hearing meetings, or during a township council meeting, that there was a discussion saying that the county was directing this?
Yes, the hierarchy was explained to us. And
Oh.
it was coming from
All right.
it was coming from the county.
We need to have some more conversation, because I am unaware of that. And I
Yeah.
think that's what you're hearing across the board here, so I'd like to have some conversation with our planning folks and the planning commission to make sure that we're all on the same page in this regard. So.
Yeah, I believe our main concerns are addresses for 911 that are unique, so we can find the structures. The ability for emergency services, especially large fire trucks, to get into and out of any new construction or developments, things of that nature. We do not specify anything like
We
this.
do provide planning services.
Sure.
To the folks, as
Yeah.
Mark indicated,
But you don't say,
but we don't.
you need to rezone 50
No.
acres
No.
to highway commercial.
No.
Well, that would be news to me.
Yes.
As of today, because
Yeah.
I don't think that conversation happened.
So the county has a comprehensive plan.
Yes.
And what that plan does is it helps guide development throughout the entire county. And so when certain development activity occurs throughout the county, we have an opportunity to comment on that proposed development. And we can say whether or not it's consistent with the overall comprehensive plan for the entire county.
But again, we're consulting, we're advising, we're not demanding.
And what, the comments that have been made should be public record then, correct? If there were comments made by planning that were sent to Marion Township?
It would all be in letters that come out of our planning office, and those are considered
A public
public,
record.
public record.
Okay.
We've received the planning and, the letter from the Planning and Community Development Office, to our supervisors, Mr.
Stalinas, yes, Ray Stalinas.
Yes, has been wonderful.
Great.
It has
Yeah.
not been information from the county that has been unavailable.
Okay. Good.
Good. I'm so sorry. Questions from the press? No?
Has the
Okay.
county planning office commented on any of the recent development? You talked about a review process, John. Do you know, has it gotten to in terms of these recent developments there? I know you have a comprehensive plan, but this more recent, has the county planning office had any commentary?
Does this come before the planning commission?
Well, it would go before the director of planning. He would make comments on it. I can't speak to whether or not it would make it to the county planning commission. But I know that Mr. Salinas has provided comments and feedback to the municipality regarding the proposed rezoning. And of course, the rezoning is a public hearing process, so obviously that would be your opportunity as well to go and voice your opinion on the suggested rezoning.
Any other questions from the press? No? Well, we thank you very much for coming and appreciate you informing the commissioners of the situation, especially in this case where people are saying the county is demanding things be done, and that's, no, we're advisory for things like zoning. Thanks. Appreciate you coming. Moving on, since it does seem to be any other public comment at this point, okay? Any additions to the agenda from the board? No. All right. If the meeting minutes are good, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held August 12th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meeting held on August 12th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. You can stay if you want, but you don't have to. We're about to do a whole lot of contracts. All right.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks. So moving on to contracts, I believe John will cover an item for the Emergency Management Agency.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you for consideration is approval of a grant application for the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant. Funding will be requested for the annual cost of what we call peak software, a commodity flow study, and hazmat training. This is a 75-25 grant match, so it'd be 75% federal, 25% county. For the past 3 years, we've gotten one project awarded each year. This year, we're going for the three projects. As we mentioned, the commodity flow study, peak software renewal for, this is relative to hazmat team modeling at incidents, relative to spills and things of that nature, and then training for the specialists who handle materials at an incident. The three projects requested are just shy of 30,000 total. And note that our 25% matching funds would not be county dollars, they would be actually Tier 2 fees that we receive through chemical facilities that are local. Currently, the interest to date is fairly low, so we're optimistic that, we would be successful in obtaining funding for the three projects. There's nothing for you to sign. If you authorize the application, the director of EMA would be able to submit the paperwork.
Any questions from other commissioner on this one?
We talked
No?
about this in local emergency planning committee also.
Yes.
so. I'll move to approve the grant application for the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the grant application for the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries, and we do appreciate the federal funding. Moving on to Human Services, Dave from Transportation has an item for us.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you. Yes, I come and ask for consideration of acceptance of the Public Transportation Operating Assistance Grant with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the fiscal year 2025-2026 to provide shared ride transportations for those individuals through both the senior shared ride and the persons with disabilities that qualify. The total amount of the grant is for $939,000 for this fiscal year, with $778,000 for shared ride for older adults, and then the $161,000 for persons with disabilities, totaling the $939,000. In comparison, that is $50,000 more than we had for the last year, which we exhausted, I think, all those funds, but maybe a few $100s for the entire year that were allocated. So we had $889,000 in 24-25 was allotted. So it's increased $50,000 based on the current trends and numbers that were allotted for this year.
Great, well, thanks so much for covering that, Dave. Glad to hear it's increased, but I'm assuming that we're actually not going to see any reimbursement from this until the state has a budget.
No, we get this
We get
PennDOT
this?
money. Oh, yes.
Oh, very
From
good.
PennDOT, we get paid. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
No, that has,
Okay.
it's the medical assistance we're waiting for.
All right.
But the PennDOT money, we do get paid, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very good.
We get checks for that, yes.
All right, even
Thank
if the
goodness.
state doesn't have a budget.
So it helps a little bit.
Okay. All right. Great.
Then-
Commissioner-
It equates to about 45,000 trips, 45+ thousand trips for both programs, which, like I said, will go up a little bit. It has been on a trend upward, so, yeah. But it's nice to say PennDOT does pay us
Yes.
with the lottery funds, so it's a little different allocation type thing. It's not tied up in the budget process, so,
Very good.
yeah.
Commissioner Concepcion, any other questions? Commissioner Dershowitz? All right.
I will move to accept the funds for the public transportation operating assistance grant.
We have a motion and a second to accept the funds for the Public Transportation Operating Assistance Grant. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. And I'll get to you in a sec, Gary. We would like to thank the Pennsylvania Lottery for sending these funds,
Yes.
rain or shine.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
Gary?
Dave, I think you clarified it. So the current debate about transportation funding in Harrisburg,
That's a different pot of money. It does
Well,
not impact your,
no, not for the shared ride service. That's funded through the lottery division, which does not get tied up in the budget negotiations. It's pretty much guaranteed money when they authorize and approve it, yes. Yeah, yep, yep.
Great, thanks, Gary. And thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
See you at the fair.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Thanks for your help yesterday, by the way.
Yes.
My pleasure.
All right, and now Kathy has 4 items for us, but we need to approve the first one separately.
Yes. 4 items. The first one is to consider approving a rental agreement with Send Clear Child Services for the use of their Phillipsburg Mental Health Building Conference Room. We're doing another early intervention training. This one is on holding hard conversations. We find this happens occasionally with our families, and so we want to build these skills with our staff and with our providers. So we have someone coming in to do that. The contract is for $150 for the use of their building. It's a great training site, and so the opportunity to do that is a great one. We have training funds available through early intervention, and so those are the funds that we'll use for that. The funding is mostly state funds. The county match is $15, and the training will occur on October 29th, 2025.
That sounds great. Any questions from either commissioner on that one?
Yep, sounds good.
No?
I'll move to approve the rental agreement with Sinclair.
We have a motion and a second to approve the rental agreement with Sinclair. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now you've got 3 more items for us.
Yes. The first agenda item is a letter of agreement with Bennett Hoffman, who is a state constable out of the HMJ area, and he is interested in assisting us with emergency transport services. This comes out of our mental health department, and we use state constables to help us with transport for individuals who need to go to inpatient treatment. There are times when the Meadows is full, Mount Nittany is full, and we have to transport individuals to hospitals outside of the county. The contract total is a maximum of $25,000. This is the full budget amount that we have for emergency transport, and we use this as the maximum for each of our 3 state constables that we use for this transport service. And we do that so whoever's available, we can contact. And so Mr. Hoffman might not get a full $25,000. It just depends on who's available. And that way, whoever we can reach when we need to make the transport, that's who gets the funding and is asked to make the transport. Some of these transports can be as far as the Philadelphia area or the Pittsburgh area. So again, it really comes down to who's got somebody available and can make that transport. So the contract total is a maximum of $25,000. Most of that is state funding. The county matches $1,153. And this will be for the time period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026. The next 2 agenda items are contract addendas. These are drug and alcohol contracts that we are extending for the 6-month period until we get an updated grant agreement from the Department of Drug and Alcohol Programs. The first is with Fire Tree LTD to provide clinically managed withdrawal management, detox, case management, medication-assisted treatment. They also offer residential rehab as well. Contract total is estimated at $2,500, and we anticipate that will be 100% state funding through DDAP for the time period July 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. And the second one is with the Center for Community Resources, 6-month extension. They do case management and after-hours detox screenings and admissions for us, nights, weekends, and holidays. That contract for that 6-month period is $500. Most of that is state funding. The county match is $24 for that same 6-month period.
Great, thanks, Kathy. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion? Commissioner Dershowitz?
I actually do have one in regard to the transport. How is that billed? What does that look like?
They usually it is a pickup and then a mileage charge.
So there's a set standard fee and then there's mileage on top of that?
Correct. Correct. So most of the varied cost depends on how far they have to transport to the facility. The state constables usually have a very set rate if they're just going to the Meadows, excuse me, if they're just going to the Meadows, but it's when they have to go out of county that the mileage actually applies.
And it's just one constable that you?
We have 3 constables that
I
we
know,
use.
Just one constable in transport?
Correct. If we have a very, very difficult individual, 1 or 2 of the constables will bring on a second staff person just for safety precautions.
I was just thinking, like, if they're transporting a female or something.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a motion then.
Move to add the MHID, EI, GNA items 2 through 4 to next week's consent agenda.
I was thinking that.
We have a motion and a second to add the MHID, EI, drug and alcohol, items 2 through 4 to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank you very much, Kathy.
Thank you.
And now Julia has contracts for 2 different departments.
Morning.
Good morning.
My first is for adult services. It's asking you to consider approval of the grant application with the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture for the State Food Purchase Program. The funding is to be determined, as this is the first step in the process towards getting the grant. So first step is to get your signature and your approval on this, and then we'll submit it and see what we get.
I think we would definitely like to be purchasing Pennsylvania agricultural product. Any questions from the commissioner on this one? No. All right.
I'll move to approve the grant application for the State Food Purchase Program.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the grant application for the State Food Purchase Program. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries, and now you've got an item for aging.
Which also includes the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. So this is a contract addendum for the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture to continue the Senior Farmers Nutrition Program and distribute farmer market vouchers to eligible seniors. So essentially what this is doing is this extends the contract 1 year, and it allows our Office of Aging to receive $1 per signature when they were administering the vouchers for the Department of Agriculture.
All right. Great, well, looks like that was a lot of signatures.
It was, yes.
Yeah. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion?
So this takes us through next year or just the end of?
So this takes us through this round of the vouchers.
Okay.
Right, so this is through September 30th of 2025, but the vouchers have all
Right.
been distributed.
Okay.
So this just allows us now to go back and collect the $1 per signature.
Okay. All right.
It's government.
It's a little
Steve,
confusing.
your, mic's off.
It's a state.
Any questions, Steve? No. Well, that was a lot of signatures at a bunch
Yeah.
of signatures. We'll take a motion.
It's just a strange thing to be using as part of that. Anyways, it's convoluted. Okay, I'll move to approve the grant application, or I'm sorry, approve the contract addendum with the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract addendum with the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
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 Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank you,
Thank
Julia.
you.
Thank you.
And then we have a resignation from our authorities, boards, and commissions, from the Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority. Trilby Mays, also known as Larry May's spouse, great guy, is resigning effective August 14th. She started serving on May 19th, 2008. Very much appreciate Trilby's service to the Recycling and Refuse Authority. We'll take a motion to accept that resignation.
Yeah, that's quite a tenure.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the commitment.
Great person.
Yeah.
I'll move to accept the ABC resignation.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the ABC resignation. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. We have a very short consent agenda. We'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
We'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Believe we
For the
do have a
check
check
run.
run.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep, so the check that I'd like to recognize today from the check run is to Downtown Bellefonte, Inc. This is one of a number of smaller economic development organizations that the county helps support each year with some grant funding. And with that, I would move that we approve the check run dated August 15th, 2025.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated August 15th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. John, do we have an administrator's report this morning?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. Moving on to reports and announcements. Were they able to put a voters?
Got
Oh,
it,
they were
yeah.
able to do that too?
Mhm. Do have it. So today, the total number of voters on the report is 101,515. Of those, Democratic voters comprise 41,181. Green Party, 160. Libertarian, 555. Those with no affiliation, 15,632. And Republican voters comprise 41,979, bringing us to that total of 101,515. All of the small parties comprise 2,008. Our total this week is down 141 from last week, or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, because we did not have a report last week. Our precinct of the week, this week, is Precinct 12, Phillipsburg 3rd. There are 410 registered voters in Precinct 12. They had a voter turnout of just over 13% at the last election in May. They vote at the Hope Fire Company Rec Center at 500 North 6th Street in Phillipsburg, and we'd like to thank the Hope Fire Company for the use of their facility. That's the voter report.
Great, thanks Commissioner Concepcion. For announcements, there will be a Center County Government Job Fair at our Grange Fair tent over by the Emporium on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, from 2 to 7 p.m. All the jobs are stable. Almost all the jobs have good health care and a fully funded pension. So if someone is looking for any one of a very broad variety of jobs for Center County government, which does 52 different things, love to have you stop by the tent, fill out an application, and I think we'll get back to you pretty quickly. Moving on, the mobile election van will also be at the Grange Fair on Thursday, August 21st. Oh, it looks like you extended the hours, 10 until 8, the whole day pretty much. Thanks to the Transportation Department and the Elections Department for being able to staff that, and I believe they will have voter registration forms there too, and they can answer questions of a broad variety.
The staff from the election office is going to man it for the most part.
All right.
We're setting it up and getting it ready.
Okay.
They'll man it, and they'll have an information table there with them.
All right.
It's 80% complete, and ready to
Good.
go. So after Labor Day, it'll be ready to hit the road.
That's
Wonderful.
fantastic.
Well, I'd like to again thank the IT department, the Transportation Department, and the Elections Department for working together as a team to make this happen. I think it might only be the second one in the state. Montgomery County had it first. And then Center County government offices will be closed on Monday, September 1st in observance of Labor Day. John, any executive sessions to report or hold?
No executive sessions to report or hold.
All right. And moving on to our public meeting schedule, on Thursday, August 21st, we'll have a combined salary board and Board of Commissioners meeting at 10. On Tuesday, the 26th, Board of Commissioners meeting at 10. On Thursday, August 28th, Finance Committee meeting at 9. an Employee Benefits Trust meeting at 1 o'clock. And now Gary and Tim's favorite part of the commissioner meeting, questions.
Any impact or changes in the county budget due to the ongoing state budget stalemate?
Not at this point. We are doing some cash flow analysis to figure out if we can make it to January 1st, which is kind of the key date to make when you're a county, because borrowing money on a tax and revenue anticipation note in the fall when you're not expecting any significant revenue to come in is generally not a good idea. And the state, A, does not reimburse us for any interest costs to pay suppliers or make payroll, and B, I think at this point, our budget forecast for money market earnings is probably way too optimistic because we spend in the ballpark of $1.25 million a week providing human services to 160,000 people in Center County, and it's a little lumpy, but on average, every week, we get almost $1 million in from the state of Pennsylvania to cover those costs, and that's pretty much stopped at this point.
I just have to say, I think, I know, having been through this process a few times, that I know it's a little bit convoluted and there's a lot of, give and take, but I am confident that they will have a budget long before the beginning of the year, and we'll be able to weather this storm here in Center County,
Yes.
okay? We're optimistic.
But we'll
I was
plan
trying to
for it.
remember past years, or the county a few times did take out it went into the fall or something before the county made a decision to.
Well, we had set up tax anticipation notes, but I don't think we actually ever had to use them. So we've been able to, between what the state provides us, because state money still comes our way. I think you heard that, a little while ago. I don't think it's quite as dire as it could be, and as long as we have some assurance that it doesn't go into December and beyond, I think we'll be okay. So.
Yeah, thankfully, Center County government is managed very conservatively from a fiscal standpoint. We do have a 7-figure rainy day fund. Might want to increase that in the near future now. But other counties, though, I think it's a different story. They'll be running out of money as we get into the fall. So good question. Anything else, Gary? Tim, anything? All right. Well, unless there's anything else for the good of the order, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn at 10:39. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks everyone for watching and visiting.